All right. Shout out to Matthew McConaughey. What's going on? Happy Friday. It is Infinity Ian back again for another video. We're walking. We out here walking again. And today I wanted to talk about thought because it's something that we do every day, all the time. And a lot of times it's subconscious thoughts, you're not even thinking about them. A lot of times it's conscious thoughts where you are thinking about them. But thoughts are literally our reality. Like everything that you're seeing right now was a thought at some point in time. Let me explain what I'm talking about, what I mean by that. These bushes right here, all right? How did these bushes get here? Well, whoever was designing this park that I'm at, they decided that this would be a good idea to put these bushes right here. So, not saying it was a bad idea or a good idea, I'm just saying they thought of the idea to put these here. These would not have been here if that original thought did not originate from that creator. So the creator of this design thought this idea up and then brought it into manifestation. Who knows how long that manifestation took? It could have took a couple weeks, could have took a couple months, could have took a couple years, because there's things that we cannot control outside of us. You know, like for instance with these, there's permits that every city has to approve whenever you get anything done on like any sort of land. And you know, maybe the permits for these bushes specifically, I don't think this was the case, but maybe the permits for these bushes took forever and it was delaying this person's creation. But at the end of the day, he persisted, or she persisted, and eventually these bushes got here. So that's just one example, right? So this is an example of something being created simply through a thought and then brought into manifestation through steps and consistency. Now we're going to get rid of the bush example, and now we're going to put this on yourself. What are you doing right now? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you possibly thinking about? Like, what are you thinking about doing right now at this second that is keeping you away from your dreams, right? It doesn't matter what that is. It doesn't matter if it's something that's in the future. It doesn't matter if it's something that is right now. What do you want to do that is holding you back? Pinpoint that first. But once you have that thought on whatever you want to do, you just branch off from that, and then you just keep building and building and building and compounding from that. For instance, for myself, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I plan on being a professional race car driver at some point in the future. I plan on being a champion at some point in the future, but first I got to be a race car driver before I can even be a champion. So I've been working on this process since about the end of 2019. That has been a long time, and I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be at this point. But does that mean that I stop? Hell no, that doesn't mean that I stop. All that means is that I just keep going harder and working harder and trying to get to my goals. The reason why I have not been able to hit my goals is because I'm trying to do things in a certain avenue, a certain way. I think about Nipsey Hussle whenever I am thinking about my goals, because people saw Nipsey's vision, but Nipsey was not willing to compromise himself for nobody. Like, I'm the same way. And to a point, it was kind of to his detriment up until he released his first album, and then boom, we started to take off. He was able to do that so efficiently and so successfully because he had put in the work for a year, over a decade of just being underground, of just learning the game and understanding what he has to do to get to the point of being able to execute at the highest level that he knows is possible. And that's all that anybody ever has to do, honestly. You don't have to go right off the gate, guns blazing, and just like knocking everything out of the park. Would it be amazing if you could do that? Absolutely, it would be amazing. But that's not the reality of the situation. That only happens with a couple of people. It will happen with you if you continue to just keep pushing and pushing and working towards whatever goal that you have. Going back to the Nipsey example, he had record labels that were continuously reaching out to him saying like, listen, man, we want to sign you, yada, yada, yada. But he had specific parameters that he was like, I know my worth, and you're either going to match this or we're not going to have a deal. And to be honest with you, that's kind of what I've been doing for the last, since I got out of the Navy, honestly. I've seen, long story short, because I'm not going to try to bore you guys and I'll put this in another video, but I know my worth, and I know that I'm not going to explain everything right now in this video, but all I will say is that I know God has put me here for a reason, and I know it. I'll just put it to you that way. I know it. And because I know that, I can't stop with my mission until that mission is complete. And it's a long mission. So I don't plan on going anywhere for a long time, but I've known that ever since I got my awakening in 2020, I knew that I had to go about my mission in a certain way, in a certain aspect. And it had to be this way. It couldn't be any other way, because if it was some other way, then there could be ways that it could be tainted. There could be ways that it could be compromised outside of my doing. The way I've been building everything for me to execute my mission, It's working out. I'll put it to you that way. It's working out to the point that I want it to. There's just a couple more steps, you know, there's just a couple more things that need to be done first, and I'm working on them, you know. And like I said, it's been a very, very long time. It's been, what you could say, almost 7 years in the making, because like I said, started at the end of 2019 when I was working on this racing journey. And back during that time, I didn't know anything about racing. I didn't know how to get into it. I didn't know how much it costs. I didn't know how people like go through the pipeline of getting up to F1 or IndyCar. I didn't know any of that. But I researched it, right? I took the steps that I needed to take to learn what is this all about. I started engulfing myself in just racing, all racing, right? I was reading books. I was waking up to watch F1 in the morning. And if you know what time F1 starts, especially like later in the year, that shit starts at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in California. But I was getting up to watch it. Like, I'm telling you, man, I've been dedicated for this last 7 years. And I've had little wins that prove like, bro, you're on the right path. Like when I got the fastest time in the world on Virginia International Speedway, or when I got the fastest time in America on Long Beach Grand Prix. Like the Long Beach Grand Prix happens every single year in Long Beach. And I got the fastest time in America and one of the fastest times in the world on that. Like, all right, I understand it wasn't in an IndyCar. I understand that it was in a different vehicle, but that doesn't change the fact that like there's, bro, Forza 7 is one of the most well-known racing video games of all time, and I have multiple world's fastest times on that, right? To most people, even to a lot of racers, like, bro, they're gonna discount the shit out of that and be like, bro, that doesn't mean nothing. You're nobody because you haven't done anything. And you're right, bro, I haven't done anything to you, but to me, I'm telling you, man, you guys do not understand what is coming in the future in the best way possible. Like, I am going to change the world. I am going to make a positive impact on this world. And you watching this video, you're going to feel it. I'm telling you. I can't tell you what time that's going to be, what year, I don't know. But it's going to happen, right? Because I have a very, 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 very positive outlook on life. And I know we are all going to be okay. We're all going to be taken care of. There's an abundance in the world. Everybody needs to get rid of the scarcity mindset because it doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't. It only serves the people that are at the top. And that's it, because they keep everybody afraid to think that there's not enough. There's not enough money in the world. Even oil, bro. If you think about oil, that just comes out of the ground. Like, it's pretty much Earth's blood. But people try to make you think that there's a limited quantity of it so that prices can go up so they can control us pretty much. I ain't trying to get into conspiracy theories and everything, but that's the case, right? That's just the reality of the situation. But there's an abundance of oil. There's oil everywhere. They find more of it all the time, right? Because there's an abundance in the world. There is not a lack. There's only a lack when you perceive the lack. But if you perceive the abundance, you'll get the abundance. I'm telling you, man, energy has a funny way of finding you. Whatever energy you put out there, if you put out bad energy in the world, it may not come back to you right away, but it's going to come back to you. And if you could put out good energy, it may not come back to you right away, but it's going to come back to you. Okay? So I'm telling you, man, just keep doing whatever you need to be doing, but have the right thoughts in your head. All right? Keep locked in on the same thoughts that are going to get you to whatever goal you were trying to get to, okay? Because you will get there, but you have to continue to keep thinking the right thoughts. If you're not thinking the right thoughts, you're not going to be taking the correct steps to get to wherever you're trying to get to, all right? You got to get them thoughts in check, man. Got to get them thoughts in check. But if you do, there's a whole world out there for you, let me tell you. So it's actually a part of the first session of the Law of One that actually specifically talks about thoughts and analyzing your thoughts. And I want you guys to hear it, so we're going to go over it. It's on my watch right here, so we're going to go over it. It goes, let us for a moment consider thought. What is it, my friend, to take thoughts? Took you then thought today? What thoughts did you think today? Let me read it. What thoughts were a part of the original thought today? How many of your thoughts did the creation abide? Was love contained? And was service freely given? You are not a part of a material universe. You are part of a thought. You are dancing in a ballroom in which there is no material. You are dancing thoughts. You move your body, your mind, and your spirit in somewhat eccentric patterns, for you have not completely grasped the concept that you are part of the original thought. I'm sorry, that was a little... I had a little bit of trouble with that because the words, like the font, was really small on my watch. So I apologize for the slow reading. But the point being with all that, and why I wanted to bring that up, is because if you are truly analyzing your thoughts and you're truly analyzing what you are thinking in your mind throughout the day, if you have a dedicated purpose and you're serious about that dedicated purpose, you're most likely not going to be thinking very many thoughts outside of that dedicated purpose. Okay. So whether that dedicated purpose is your family, whether that dedicated purpose is your job, a video game, an app you're trying to create, whatever the case may be, man, whatever your dedicated purpose is, if your thoughts are contained on that shit and you you embody that, whatever you're thinking about, you're going to bring it to manifestation. So one of the reasons why I believe Raw was talking about was love contained in your thoughts is because if you have love that is like the root of any thought that you think, right? So the thing is that if you have love as like the core foundation of any thought that you think, you really can't go wrong, right? Because a lot of people don't know what love is or like how to express love or really what the meaning of it is. And it's subjective to everybody. So I'll just tell you what it means to me. And what it means to me is oneness, right? Connected with somebody. It could be connected with everybody. It could be life comes down to connections and relationships. Like at the end of the day, that is what is fulfilling in life. Yes, you need money to survive, and you need your body to be able to move and be, active. But if you are just alone, then you're gonna be very lonely. Right? No, I mean, like you're gonna want somebody else around to be able to, share experiences with. Right? That's like I said, life is all about getting experiences. Life is all about having more experiences, learning from your experiences, and then passing those learned experiences off to the next generation. And we're actually going to break down this statement by Raw, and we're going to ask, like, what did you think today? Think about it. What was the thing that was most on your mind today? Why are you thinking about that? What's the purpose of that? Are you thinking of it because you're stressed? Are you thinking of it because you're excited that it's coming? Like, what were those thoughts? Why were they contained in your mind? And where did they originate from? The next question you got to ask yourself is, were those thoughts a part of the original thought? And if you don't know what the original thought is, it's pretty much love. Then we have the next question of, in how many of those thoughts did the creation abide? So like, and how many of your thoughts were you thinking about Earth, right? Or the world? Do you just disregard it all and you're like, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm just here and it kind of is just whatever. Like it's not really important to me. Or are you living in harmony with the Earth, right? Or with the world? Are you trying to do whatever you can to make this world a better place, right? If you see trash on the ground, are you picking it up? Or are you just walking by that motherfucker like, oh, next guy, get it? What are you doing? Right? I'm picking it up. Anybody that knows me knows if I see some trash and I see a trash can really close, I'm picking that motherfucker up. And you should too. I'll be honest with you. You should too, because it don't take that much. Unless it's like, full of dog shit. Don't pick that up. Leave that motherfucker on the ground. But if it's just like a empty Doritos bag, don't put your hand inside of it, but pick it up on the outside and put that bitch in the trash. So that's an example. Did you think about the creation? That's an example of being able to use your thoughts to be able to help the people around you, because you picking up that Dorito bag could have saved somebody's grandma from a broken hip. I know that kind of sounds a little extreme, but listen, man, we're all one. We're all here on Earth, and you don't understand that your actions have consequences. So next time you throw a Doritos bag on the ground, think about it. You might be fucking up someone's grandma. And that leads me to my next question is, was love contained, right? So when you were thinking about throwing that Doritos bag on the ground, were you thinking about love, right? Were you thinking about your grandma? Probably not. But that's what you need to be doing, man. You need to be having love in every single one of your thoughts. And the thing about love is that there's selfless love and there's selfish love, okay? And neither are wrong. Neither are right? They are both applicable in certain situations. One of the things that they talk about in the Law of One is, in religions, they talk about heaven, right? Getting to heaven, you got to be a good person, yada, yada, yada. They say in the Law of One, to get to fourth density, which is like the equivalent of heaven, you only need to have 51% of all your actions in your incarnation be towards other people, like towards the benefit of other people. 51%. Okay, so a little bit more than half of all the things that you do, if that is geared towards other people, then you're gonna go to heaven. In the eyes of Law 1, they don't call it heaven; they call it fourth density, but it's equivalent to heaven. It's the equivalent to like a paradise you could think of. That's all it takes, though. It only takes 51%, right? So that's 49% of your actions can be selfish towards yourself, because you have to take care of yourself. If you're not Jesus, bro. You are Jesus way deep and down, but you don't realize that. So you're not. And because you're not, you can't just completely give yourself and give and not like take some for yourself, right? Like you have to be selfish in certain aspects of your life. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a part of life, especially here on planet Earth. They say that in third density, and we are in third density right now. They say that in third density, there's pretty much 100 times more catalysts here than in any other density. So this is the hardest fucking density to get through. So we're pretty much living in hell, but in a good way. Like it's to decide our future, to decide, do you want to live a selfish life or do you want to live a selfless life? Right? That's your choice. That's why this third density is the density of choice. And if you choose to move with love, you will move on to love, the density of love, which is fourth density, or heaven, if you're religious, heaven. Either way, if you move with love and love is contained in your thoughts, you will go there. If you have 51% of your actions geared towards other people, towards the benefit of other people. And the beauty of that is that when you help other people, you're really helping yourself, because like I said, man, we're all one. We're all here on this earth. So imagine this. Imagine you put a water fountain in the middle of a park that has never had a water fountain before. All right, you may do that and it brings people to that park. Now let's fast forward a couple years and you're at that park again, and there are now basketball courts at that park, and you go to the water fountain to get water at the water fountain that you built, and at that water fountain LeBron James just happens to be there, right? And you end up talking to LeBron James. He's cool, he's by himself. That's probably never gonna happen, but it could happen. Anything is possible. And during that interaction, you guys are just killing it. During that interaction, you guys are just hitting it off, and you end up being LeBron's best friend. My boy Gio's gonna hate this because he fucking hates LeBron. Hey, shout out to you, Gio. But I'm just saying, man, like anything is possible. But you putting in that water fountain, helping other people at the park, pay dividends in the future, because you got to meet one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? It benefited you in the future. It didn't happen right away, but it did benefit you in the future. The same goes for was service freely given, right? You have to do things just from the kindness of your heart and not expect anything in the future, like anything to come from that. You just got to do it out of the kindness of your heart. That LeBron James water fountain example, you didn't know LeBron was going to fucking show up at that water fountain. It just happened, right? Just because you freely gave that service. You're like, I just want to do some good for this community and provide people with one of the basic necessities of life, water. When you do good, the universe rewards you, okay? So give service freely, right? If you see somebody in need, go help them out, bro. I'm telling you, you will get good energy returned back to you in the future. So imagine if your day, you just went about your day just helping people out, helping people out, helping people out. You know how good you're gonna feel? First of all, you're gonna feel like on top of the fucking world. Like you're gonna feel on top of the world, and be honest with you. When you help people and you see the smile on their face and it's a genuine smile, if you haven't helped anybody in the wild, you need to pick your ass up off the bed, off the couch, wherever you are. If you're in your fucking car, go outside and give a homeless dude a scratcher, a Gatorade, some Doritos. You know, I keep talking about Doritos, but if you want to make them fucking healthy, then give them some fucking Siete chips. But give them that, and then give them on top of the Gatorade, give them some water, and get them ice cream. Get them some fucking Sour Patch Kids. Everyone loves candy, right? But it's just little things like that. You know how many times I've given little care packages to homeless people? Like I've just seen people walking, and I'm like, bro, what do you need? Can I get you something? And they're just like, yeah, man. And they accept it, and they're so thankful. Like they love it, right? But because people don't take the initiative. You just have to do it, bro. Like this dude, I'm gonna show an example right here. I'm not gonna say his name, but this guy, I helped him out a couple months ago. I saw him at grocery outlet, and I was like, hey man, like, do you need anything? He's like, yeah, bro. Can you give me some? It was fucking weird. He's like, can you give me some lunch meat? Lunch meat. You ever seen Friday After Next where he goes extra medium? That's what I was when he said, can I get some lunch meat? I was like, lunch meat? The fuck you want some lunch meat? All right, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning too. That's why I was like, why do you want some lunch meat right now? You want a banana instead? But anyways, he wanted some lunch meat. So I got him some lunch meat, but I got him a lot more than the lunch meat. Yeah, it just threw me off because it was early in the morning, but he wanted the lunch meat, so I got him the lunch meat. I also got him some other stuff, and he was so thankful, man, when he was just like, you can see his eyes light up, because I don't know how many people do that, man. I'm sure, maybe once a day, but there's hundreds of thousands of millions of people in Southern California, and only one person's helping them out per day. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we gotta do better than that. We gotta do better than that. So, and this is just something, like, I've done this so many times throughout the years, and anybody can do it, bro. It does not take that much. It's maybe $10, $15. to do that, but you're like literally making somebody's day. You're literally changing their life. You could be the catalyst in their life that causes them to want to make a difference, right? I don't know what's going on in that guy's life. Like I said, I'm not gonna say his name. I see him pretty often, but I don't know what he's got going on. But I know that he was well fed that day. I know that for damn sure. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a homeless person, right? If you see a family in front of you that is struggling and you have the ability to buy their groceries, then buy their fucking groceries, bro. Because something so small like that to you can mean so much, so much to somebody, right? It's just the kindness, right? If you have the ability to help, then help. Don't put yourself at a detriment, though. Oh, don't put yourself at a detriment, right? Because you got to be able to take care of yourself. But if you're not putting yourself at a detriment and you have the ability to help, then help. The next part that we're all talking about is that they said that we are not a part of our material universe, okay? What they mean by that is, yes, I can touch the ground right now, right? Like I can touch this. This is real, but it's a thought, okay? Once again, somebody thought of these being here. That's why they are here. Somebody thought of you being here, right? Whether it was, once again, selfish or selfless, whether whoever your daddy is wanting to get his rocks off, or whether your parents conceived you with love, that is a selfish or selfless decision right there. And that was a thought that made you, okay? And you bring that all the way back to Adam and Eve. They were thoughts. They had to come from somewhere. Who thought of them? The creator. The infinite creator, God, thought of Adam and Eve, and the people before Adam and Eve, and the people before them, and the planets, and the sun. Everything is connected, and everything came to materialization from a thought. Everything is thought of, but the thought has to originate. So if you do not originate the thoughts that you want, your future reality will not happen. That's why I'm making this video and why it's so important, is because you need to manifest and think about whatever reality you want. Don't think about the reality you don't want. Focus on the reality you do want. And your frequency will begin to attune to that reality, the one that you want. And when you do that, I tell you, man, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. It just takes time. We live in the space-time continuum, right? So there is space between this mic and my phone, right? It takes a second of time to go from here to there. Sorry, I keep smacking it, but that's the space-time continuum. In time-space, it's the complete opposite. So there is unlimited time and zero space. It's all condensed on itself. I know that's kind of a mind fuck, but that is the opposite of our reality. In that reality, in time-space, all possibilities are possible because time is endless there. So anything that you can think of is in that time space. And it's pretty much like converged on itself because there's no space in time space. Once again, space time, there's space in between us, and it takes time to get through that space. In time space, there is time that goes on forever, and there is no space. So it just, you pretty much just think of whatever time you want to go to, and boom, you're there. So the way that works with manifesting is you think about whatever you want to manifest. And so the way that works with manifesting is you think about whatever you want in manifesting, and that manifestation or that thought is in time space. You have to use your space-time continuum body, or this body, to be able to move to that time in time space, or that frequency that your future reality is laying in time space. In reality, there is no future, it's just the present moment. And this is a whole nother like series I need to go into because it's a lot. I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now, but once again, this proves how important thoughts are. I know this is a long video. I always make long videos. I have a lot to talk about, man. Sorry, not sorry. But think about your thoughts. All right. This is Memorial Day weekend, so I hope that you guys have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Use this time to manifest, right? Use this time to think about your future, because your future is coming. Your future is here. Your future is now. You build your future right now. So choose what you want that future to be. What do you want that future to be? Do you want that future to be a future of abundance, or do you want that future to be a future of scarcity? It's completely up to you. It's your choice. You make your reality. You create your reality. So create whatever reality you want, and let's do it together, man, because I'm on this journey with you. So I'm going to end it on that note. I love you guys. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and be on the lookout for my workout programs because they're going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks. So I look forward to making a positive impact on your life. And I'm going to continue to do these little motivational videos because I love them. They're, like I said, I have a lot to talk about. And I don't care if only one person listens to it. It is what it is. If more listen to it, then hey. But I'm just trying to impact as many as I can. I'm gonna end it on that. I love you guys with all my heart. I want you guys to achieve everything that you want in life. Okay, always believe in yourself. Get your ass out and walk. Right, I've been walking this whole fucking time. Okay, get your ass out and walk. Get your steps in, and don't forget to smile and share the love, spread the love. So I love you guys. This is Infinity Ian, and I'll see you guys in the next video.